Welcome back to The Girls Wanna Know. Today we are talking about something that I feel is so important in relationships, in life in general. We are talking about sex, friends.
Let's talk about sex, baby. That's still like a song.
It is.
It's crazy.
It's 100%. And they was right. We should be talking about sex because a lot of people not doing it right.
It's a lot of people not doing it right.
It's a lot of people. So just to start y'all off with, because we just going to jump right in. To start y'all off,
we're going to jump right in.
With some statistics, okay? We're going to talk about the orgasm gap. We're going to talk about why the orgasm gap exists. And then we're going to talk about just kind of where we are as far as what we think about these things.
Okay.
Yeah. So the orgasm gap is basically, according to Forbes, the orgasm gap doesn't just exist between heterosexual women and men.
Okay.
And basically what it is that men orgasm at exponentially higher rate than women. It has been found that lesbian and bisexual women have significantly more orgasms than heterosexual women. Similarly, there's an orgasm gap between women when they're alone and when they're with a partner. A study found that 39% of women said they always orgasm when they masturbate versus 6% during sex.
Damn.
It's like a hard swallow. I hope that was audible because what the fuck?
I mean, I don't...
6%?
What's going on?
So, okay. Another...
I couldn't even think of that.
I know, like that's crazy. 6% of people are orgasming during heterosexual sex. Bisexual sex when it's women with women, or lesbian sex when it's women with women, the women are orgasming much more. So according to a 2018 study by behavioral scientists in California, heterosexual men were most likely to say they usually to always orgasm when sexually intimate, 95% of the time.
Okay.
Followed by gay men who were orgasming at 89% of the time. Bisexual men at 88%, lesbian women at 86%, and then bisexual women at 66%. I'm guessing that the decrease in that percentage is because of the men. And then heterosexual women were orgasming at 65%. This was according to a study, I want to say it was around 52,000 people.
That's crazy because that's saying, so you're saying the men that are left for us just don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing, but
I thought that's a
thing. But according to this study, it said that women who did orgasm more frequently were more likely to, and this is where I want y'all to listen up and take notes, because if you've been having dusty sex, this is what you need to do. Women who were more frequently orgasming, they were receiving more oral sex. They have longer duration of sex, so they're doing it for a longer time. They're more satisfied with their relationships, so they're happier in their relationships. They ask for what they want in bed. You have to be vocal. They praise their partner when they do something that they like, and then they call and email to text during the day about something sexual. They wear sexy lingerie. They try new sexual positions. They do anal play. They also act out fantasies, incorporate sexy talk, and express love during sex. So,
okay. I mean, these sound like normal things.
These are normal things, but I think a lot of what has happened here is that there has been this thing where, depending on how you grow up, like if you are religious, there's almost this idea that sex happens to women as opposed to us like engaging in it and like enjoying it. That's just how it's. It's not necessarily something somebody says, but I think it's how it is like talked about.
Is it?
Like,
because I don't want that. I don't want to be taken.
No, but I think that it's like
unless, but I'm just saying I don't want to feel as if I'm being
taken advantage of. No, I don't think anybody
not
does.
in that kind of way.
Think about
in that kind of way, but not in that kind of
Think about like how they talk about how many bodies do you have, or they don't want to date a woman.
Nobody has asked me that, and I feel like
nobody's asked me that either.
That asked me that, I'm gonna bust out laughing,
right? And then we never gonna talk again. But I also think that if you think of it in that context, if you think of it in that context, how many bodies do you have? Nobody asked men that. Nobody worries about...
I guess I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, nobody ever worries about how many sexual partners a man has had, when the last time they had sex. Like, they're not concerned about these things. They're only concerned about it for women.
You're saying, like, it's always been like celebrated for them to just be like, you can have
to
as
throw
many.
that dick around.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you
And
out here
also
having
that's
a
the
good
thing with them
time,
with kids too.
yes, you spread that seed wherever you feel like. But should a woman have more than one child
By a different man, oh, it's over with.
Suddenly she is a Jezebel.
Okay.
And so
Kevin Samuels came out his grave.
He did.
And told her she was a low class.
And we thank God that Kevin Samuels is not here anymore. Okay.
That's crazy. That is true.
So
that is very true.
I think that the context of that is when women enjoy sex, for some men, I think that not only is it intimidating, but it's a turnoff. Like,
it is.
Yeah. I think a lot of times it just kind of comes about where it's like women need to be these demure, like,
girl, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah. And when we enjoy sex, suddenly we're whores.
Or where you learn that?
Exactly. But the thing is this, if you one of them people who stay a virgin until you get married. And
where did you learn this bullshit?
Yeah.
Is what I need to know. We need to call her.
But imagine you stayed a virgin until you got married and then you got with your husband and the sex was whack.
You wouldn't know.
You would.
How would you know? You have never had sex before.
So I think that this is the thing. You may not know that it's whack, but certainly you understand that you're supposed to be enjoying it more than you're enjoying it.
I don't know.
You don't think? Okay.
I mean, if I go back to at that time of my life when I lost my virginity, I don't think my mindset was this is good or bad. I think my mind was more of this. You're finally doing this.
Yeah, but then 5 years down the line, where were you?
I think, well, for me, sexuality kind of came with age.
Yeah,
over time. Like,
right.
I think when you're a virgin and you have sex with someone for the first time, you're like, I don't know how this is gonna go. They do whatever it is, and you're like, oh,
this was it. Okay,
until maybe you meet somebody else, or
yes, but I think if we're talking about
saw something wild on a TV show and was like, maybe I should try this,
right? Like you read a steamy book and you like, we're not doing
or something like
this.
Yeah,
like you read smut and smut will really have you like, hold on,
right? Because they had that moment where women were all over the world were like, I'm not orgasming my husband after 50 Shades of Grey. I think that was a thing, an article at a time where people started reading that and being like, none of this is happening in my life.
And so I wonder in those situations, like, what do you do?
If you choose that for your life, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who put?
People will really say to you, what if the love of your life is bad in bed? Baby, the love of my life ain't bad in bed.
How would that be?
And the love of my life can't be bad in bed because I'm really like a Samantha Jones in that. Fuck me bad once, shame on you. Fuck me bad twice, shame on me. Like, I'm not ever coming back. Like, it's weird. Why are you going back for that?
I've given second chances after them being like nervous or something weird in the beginning.
Maybe
and if
the same
it's weird, if it's because I'm getting up out of there. Like, if it's too weird that night, I'm gonna go ahead and let you sit with this one.
Okay.
I can't sit with you. We can't both sit being here sad.
I mean, if it's weird the first time.
And this ain't my house, I gotta go home and wash my face. What you doing? Good night.
This was a terrible time. I'm never gonna see you again. Yeah.
I'll be cool because what if they were nervous or whatever? If you weird the second time, then yeah.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna fade to black. I mean, but it could be like that. Sometimes it's just like have you ever had one of those moments where it's somebody you guys have insane chemistry? Like it's a buildup. Like y'all like going out, y'all kicking it. It's hella like kissing and all kind of, it's a buildup. And then when y'all get there, it's like, no.
Yeah.
What went wrong?
Yeah.
What happened to all the passion?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to hello? How are you?
And then I sent a text the next day.
No. See, you in this text. See, I don't do that. I hate when that happens. When you get and you like, oh no.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
Why would that trailer be so good? And the movie was
terrible.
Bad.
I don't have the patience. I just feel like we're adults. Like, be nervous. That's fine. But there's certain things you can fix, right? Certain things is just like, you're terrible at this and I'm never doing it again.
But see, the thing is, I think, and this is where I'm saying I blame women. A lot of us are not telling these men that they're bad.
But okay, so
and I'm one of them. I blame myself.
Oh yeah, no. So
I'm one of them that would be like, "Oh wow, that was weird," and just never say nothing.
I'm very vocal. I feel like. Okay. I'm very vocal. So and that's why I'm like, if it's the same night, we might try a couple different times. But if it's terrible every time we try, then what am I doing here? Like I'm not. You've had 3 opportunities.
See, that's the thing for me. If it was a night of trying different texture setups and none of them was fitting,
exactly.
I'm gonna start laughing.
Okay.
And then I gotta go. So then I'm probably never gonna see you again.
Either way, it's a never see them again situation for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you tell someone that though? Would you?
I do. Well, so I wouldn't necessarily say, oh my God, the sex is terrible. I would just say it's not a match for me.
But that's still not telling them, and that's why.
I don't gotta tell them. They should know.
I don't think they know.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna tell somebody.
I think I hear a lot of stories from men how they say some women just lay there. They don't do nothing.
Oh.
I hear that.
A pillow princess?
What's that?
A girl who just lays there.
What? They gave them a name?
I'm pretty sure it's called a pillow princess.
Oh, I ain't never heard of this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they call them.
Well, you hear that, and then you hear women being like, oh, girl, he was doing all this kind of like.
So the thing is, I do think
so
that
like nobody's telling her she's a pillow princess, and nobody's telling him like.
But the thing is, I'm vocal about what I want.
Okay,
that's the thing. So, and this is
like,
what
how is it though? Is it because you a Virgo, and I dated a few Virgos, and I tell y'all something about these Virgos, they gonna have you in there like a marionette.
I'm a Virgo woman.
Okay,
so it's a different thing. It's a different thing.
Like, can I be a part of this experience with you?
No, so
that's
tell
me what to do about every goddamn thing.
No, that's not. Virgo men and Virgo women are very different.
They? That's what I was like, tell me.
Virgo men and Virgo women are very different. But I also just think for me personally, I'm very vocal.
Okay.
Because you're in my body.
Alicia is a talker. Yes.
I need to enjoy this. And if I don't enjoy this, I will literally stop it in the middle. Like, yeah, I don't.
Okay, enough. Hey, can you imagine?
I will. Because what you gonna do? You gonna finish and I'm not enjoying immediately no. Like,
immediately no. I don't even know how I would handle it if somebody was like, all right, chill. Can you imagine a dude?
No, I would just be like, hold on. Maybe we try a different situation here. But just like let somebody continue to do it when I'm not having a good time.
True.
No, because I'm in this experience. So this is what I mean when I say I think a lot of times sex is talked about, or like for women, it is contextualized in a way that it happens to them as opposed to something they're engaging in. So if I'm having sex, I need to have a good time. And if at any point during that sex I stop having a good time, the sex is stopping. Like... And I don't feel bad or guilty about that. And the thing is, if I don't have a fully good time, if the orgasm gap exists and you finish and I don't, that is the last time. Oh, I'm cutthroat. I don't give a fuck.
The way you said that was so stern. That is the last time.
That's the last time. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing this.
Obviously, we've learned through this pod that I be giving chances. Too many.
Yeah. Like
we've learned that with me with lots of things. So clearly, I would have given them. I've made mistakes where I've done more than twice. Chances.
Because I think the hope is that it's just going to get better.
Well, I've had moments where the passion be there so wow, and then you like, why do we fumble? And then like you try it again, and you like, not again.
Carrie and Berger. Carrie and
Mm-hmm.
Berger from Sex and the City.
Carrie and Berger.
Berger, they had like amazing. They had Zaza Zoo, according to Carrie.
I don't remember. Why don't I remember this?
This was season 6. He was also like a writer, and he.
Oh yeah.
And that's where the "fuck me bad once." Shame on you thing comes from. But they had amazing chemistry, amazing like passion, and then they got to the bedroom and it was a snooze
crazy.
Fest. Yeah,
when that happens, it's always like.
But for me, that is a deal breaker.
Is going on.
That is a deal breaker. And I do not feel bad about that because I think a lot of times like we don't put enough of a premium on good sex. Imagine having the worst argument you ever had with your man.
But here's the thing that I wait, what?
You have like a terrible argument with your man. Y'all make up and then y'all have sex and the sex is whack. I'm still mad now. We have made
that's
up.
True. Well, then why would that happen? I don't think I've ever ended up with anybody that was bad sex in my life.
But that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people are in relationships with people with terrible sex. And
that's
they
crazy.
Just feel like sex is
You're
not that
trying
big
to
of a
kill
deal.
yourself or torture yourself if
you
you decide
need
that.
You release something called oxytocin, which is the love drug. It's the love like chemical that is released in your brain when you are touched, when you are having sex with, when you are intimate with someone who you like and who likes you. And so if I'm just not getting the oxytocin, what am I doing?
Yeah, but how do you end up in a relationship with this person in the first place? This doesn't add up.
I think a lot of women internalize the idea that sex is not that important.
Oh, who said that? I'm gonna keep yelling. I can hear who said that. I mean,
this is a very common. It's a common I think, misconception that exists.
Maybe
for
that's why
a
they
lot
be in
of
relationships and
people.
I don't.
Yes.
Because I be choosing the wrong thing.
But the thing is,
I'll be choosing dick over like
gotta
all kind
be
of
like
important shit. Like,
okay, so that actually makes me, that brings me to
important
my
shit,
next
like,
question.
respect.
Do you feel like this is a perfect segue for this? Perfect segue.
Man.
Do you believe in soul ties?
You know, I've been hearing a lot about that came out wrong. I've been hearing a lot about it lately. When I'm in a heartbreak setup, I'll be believing it. But then when I be over it, I'll be like, that wasn't in my soul.
Okay,
and
so
it ain't
let's
on the tie.
Let's define a soul tie for
Okay.
anybody who doesn't know. So a soul tie is a deep, meaningful connection between two people that can be romantic, friendly, or familiar. It's not backed by scientific evidence, but some say it's a spiritual connection or strong emotional bond that transcends the physical body. People who have a soul tie may feel like they've known each other forever, and some signs of a soul tie include feeling energized or inspired after spending time with a person, feeling comfortable and secure in the other person's presence, being able to express yourself. So at this point, I'm almost wondering if we have reduced the meaning of what a soul tie is supposed to be down to a person who has you digmatized. Because I really only hear it in the context of being digmatized.
No, I haven't heard it in that way.
You haven't heard it in that way?
No.
Okay.
I've always heard it to where it's like a person that you kind of have met them at some point in your life, in another life. And you meet them again in this life, and somehow you guys have this interesting connection to where even if you don't work as a relationship, you still feel like you have soul ties to each other because it's unfinished business from the past and could be unfinished business.
It's like
in the
Hancock.
present.
Will Smith?
Right.
Okay. Y'all know in Hancock, and Charlize
great
Theron.
analogy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. They were like gods from another world, and they met up in every single lifetime, and it was just like a magnetic pull. Okay.
Have you ever had that with someone? I have had that, especially like in moments where I'm like, oh, I feel weak with this person. Like I could only be the version of myself that I know I can be without them. I've had that happen to me a lot of times. And I think that's
really think I believe in soul ties.
I do. Okay. I think this last situation I was just in was that, but it was the reversed. It wasn't the way. But then that wouldn't have been
if you said weak. I don't think that's a soul tie. No.
It's like there's this thing that's there, but like we can't be our greatest selves with one another. Like he can't shine the way shine the way he needs to shine next to me, because something about me weakens him, and something about it. Have you never had in like the vice versa? Oh gosh, that's what I thought a soul tie was.
Okay,
I'm long winded.
So that's like, no, you're fine. That's that seems more like kryptonite. Like
I don't know.
In one episode of Smallville, I remember I don't know why I'm in a movie or like
clearly you got it on. You are on point with it though today.
In one episode of Smallville, they turned Lana Lang into kryptonite. Why? And her and Clark couldn't go near each other, but they was like in love. And every time he would go near her, he would get super weak. And that was the way they got her off the show, because she had to leave the show. Okay. But it sounds like it's kind of like that, where your ability and like your thriving in life is kind of diminished in the presence of this person. But so I don't think I've ever had a soul tie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I thought it was. But I mean, as far as sexually, I feel like there are some people that when you exchange energy with them, you both glow afterwards. Like you thrive off in your life, he thrives off in his life, or however. You know, I think that if that's the kind of soul tie you're talking about.
I think people have used soul ties.
They didn't ruin it like they ruined narcissists.
Yeah.
Because now I think sometimes you just an asshole.
I think a lot of it is.
Might not even be.
I think a lot of how soul tie is used is to describe toxic relationships where the sex is amazing. And I could be completely wrong.
Oh, people throw that in the same thing with a trauma bond and all kind of things like that. Yeah.
I feel like it's become one of those very popular phrases where maybe the way that it was initially like introduced into the lexicon is not the way that we're using it. Yeah. Either way.
I think it's simply just you could have sexual chemistry with somebody, but you might not have the same values or worldviews. So I mean, that could happen.
Yes. And so that's what I've kind of understood a soul tie to be, where you have amazing sexual chemistry, but nothing else is lining up,
right? And
you don't leave that person alone, and you feel like you can't leave them alone, almost like you're struggling to make a bond.
Step your days up on your therapy. You got to get an extra
step your days up, get more self-esteem, understand that the universe will always provide another amazing experience with another human.
Maybe not, but
100%.
I don't know. It ain't gonna be the way. It ain't gonna turn out the way. It ain't gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen, though.
I don't know. I feel like anytime
I don't think I've ever like had great sex with somebody and then it just don't work out, and then boom, another great sex shows up. Nah,
that's been my experience. I don't like
the same kind or better.
I've had some really great experiences, yeah. But I also just think I don't really believe that there is one person for.
I ain't saying that. I'm just saying it take a while.
Let me finish.
For me.
Let me finish. I don't think there's one person. I think that the moment you're willing to let something go, something better will always come along.
Oh, true that.
And so for me, like if I like somebody and the sex is amazing and then I suddenly stop liking them or they switch it up on me, cut, move on. And then the universe just provides another great experience. I ain't gonna front
on y'all. My move on game ain't that strong.
Yeah, the universe
my move on game be weak.
Yeah,
it be taking me a little minute.
That's okay. So sometimes it takes me a minute too, but I think the thing is the cut is important.
You know what it is though? You already be cutting people from the gate. I don't do people out the jump. So if I do let you in and I do mess around and say I like you and I love you, I'll be for real. So it's gonna take me about 3 years now.
No, so that's me
like,
though.
Shake it off.
That's me. But I'll cut it off before it gets to a point. I'll see one tiny red flag that I know is gonna turn into a blanket, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
See, when I be on that, like, cause that's how I feel now. I'll be like, oh no. Like, yeah. When I be off people, I'll be off people. When I be the worst person.
You should.
Ever.
I encourage being
you should
completely outrageous when you're in your healing process and doing what you need to do to get through that process.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I definitely my get over shit game be taking me a while. That ain't even necessarily like relationships. That's everything for me.
Yeah.
I could work at a job and like you can ask me about it 2 years later. I'm still having passionate moments about that boss.
Okay.
That bitch. That like
I think that for sex specifically, you have to be very willing to like detach. And I think I also just I read a book a couple years ago.
You read a book to detach?
I read a book.
Not you been
planning. Well, no, it's just
preparing for LA.
The way that I kind of live my life.
Shit.
I can never remember
I've been out here losing, baby.
The Power of Now or Man's Search for Meaning. But one of those books has like a thing in it about living in a state of detachment, non-attachment, non-judgment, and non-resistance, where you're not resisting anything that's coming towards you. Like you just have to let things be what they are. Mm-hmm. You're not judging and you're not like hanging on to things. Mm-hmm. Like if it's not working out, you gotta be willing to let it go. And because
I'm not doing that. I'm terrible.
Because I read that book, even if I'm having great sex, if the other stuff is not working out, I'm floating. Like, baby, I can't.
I could find out my nigga is Michael Myers. I'm still.
You still gonna ride?
I'm still fucking him.
You gonna be Michelle Myers?
Because it's good. You like it's good. I know he be wilding on Halloween, but
you said this my boo, honey.
I'ma go ahead.
We
and
locked in for life. Okay.
No, I'm not good at that. I definitely that is my that's my red flag on me. I'm gonna hold on.
Okay.
I'm terrible.
That's fine. You can work on that. I feel like that's something to work on. But I also think just in general, like sex, great sex it's not as
you will get caught up though.
Come by. Or caught up in what?
This one. It is hard to come by. You can't get I think it's hard to come by. Great sex is hard to come by because I feel like, what did the list say? 6% of women are out here not having a good time.
Baby,
so it's hard.
The way I'm not in that 6%, I want y'all to understand that once I understood what I liked and did not like, I was gonna have a good time every time.
Well, we got to get on your boat with the manifestation. Yeah. Cause like
I'm gonna have a good time every time.
Now,
like,
that's why I don't really.
And I'm very.
It take me a minute too. I can't. Mm-mm. I'm not a. He seems cool. Let me try to have sex with him right now. I'm not getting to know you.
No,
and then by getting to know you, I'm gonna know if this gonna be fun or not.
So I've definitely had some fun, like one night type of situations.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm
not into that.
I don't mind doing that. That's a good time.
Sometimes, I will say that ain't never been my thing.
I've had a one. I'm almost 40 years old. Like I just.
I partake, but then I'm always like. I gotta go home and wash my face. I don't think I've ever really been into like just crashing in somebody's random house type shit or anybody crashing in my house type shit. Or whatever,
Yeah. You don't have to. I think that if you go out and the chemistry's right and you having a good time and you want to do a little flirtation,
Yeah,
you do
it's
a
been a
little
minute for me
flirtation.
on all that, you know.
Yeah. But I also think
I'm
so
definitely
if
weird
you are
now.
doing that, I'm gonna actually segue to this next point. When you're out having a good time, like
When
at
you're
this
out having a
point,
good time.
yes. At this point, I am on like a celibacy journey while we having this
You
conversation about
told me. I
sex.
was like,
Yes.
that's crazy.
So I've been celibate for 2 years.
Woo!
And it just is one of those things where I felt like I had a good enough time and I was kind of bored with the selection, so I stopped shopping. But I did. I just got.
We gonna.
I
I
don't know.
got. What's the 2 years?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've done this before. I'm prone to
That's good.
prone to extremism.
That's
I think.
incredible.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we got to add some editing and have some confetti come down on this bitch. Because 2 years is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I ain't ever said to do nothing like that to myself. I wouldn't want to put myself.
Well,
through
it
nothing
just
like
kind of
that.
started where I was like, ugh, I'm over this. And then it just kind of became a thing where, like, yeah, I don't think I want to engage at all. Like, I'm just kind of over it. And I haven't really met anybody that I want to with. Like, I did the thing where I had a good time. Like, I went out, went on dates and talked to people and, like, just did the dating thing. I lived my Sex in the City life. But it got to a point where I was kind of bored with it. And so I stopped.
Yeah.
And I think it's important.
I love Sweet Life, so I stopped.
I did. I think it's important to do
Good
stuff like that.
time.
But if you are in your Sex in the City time, I want to know how often people are getting tested.
You know, yeah, let's tap into this. I feel like men, at least men, maybe, again, we learned that I don't have great choices, but men that I've dated, they're always like, well, if you good, I'm good.
No, yeah, that's crazy. So I get tested.
Some men go based off of the last girl they dated. If
that
she got
is
tested and she was good, they think they
to me.
good.
So I don't really understand people who do this because I think I'm a hypochondriac. I'm a germaphobe. I get tested every time I have a new partner.
Yeah.
Anytime I have a new partner, I get a test.
Yeah.
Before we do it, and then after we do it.
Okay.
Like when I cut them off, that's it. And then we have
you on
a
your
test.
way to the doctor. That's
literally like, well, I'll give it a 3-week window.
Never see you again.
It's a 3-week window.
Driving over to the.
It's a 3-week window. So you give a 3-week window because that's how long it typically takes for most STDs to kind of show up for you to be symptomatic.
Right.
3 weeks, and then once that's done, you go get tested, and then you have your negative test results, and you're good. But this idea that people only get tested, I was
asking the person that you're
with to get tested 100%.
Are they going to get tested and then coming back over?
I want to see. Well, no, before we do it, I want to see. Like,
wow.
I just want to see. But I also.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong. That's kind of.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And the thing is, I don't want to make it seem like I'm.
But you found all these like good dick sexual partners to go and get tested and show up at your house clean and ready to go. That's crazy.
What
kind of life are you? This is crazy.
Sometimes
what am I doing wrong?
Had some unfortunate experiences.
Good old clean dick just showing up.
Unfortunate experiences, but I think that's why it's important to get tested. Like I did not ask before, and I remember I was sleeping with this guy and the condom came off. And I was just really like, oh, God. And I hadn't asked him before. And he told me he had not been tested since high school. And I would have loved to have been
a fly on the wall for that day. Because Alicia also has OCD and everything else. So it would have been like the moment of it.
This was another reason why I stopped having sex. Because
you melted in front of him and he was like, oh my God.
I really had a hard time. And I want y'all to know when this happens, there are things that you can do. So I went obviously and got on, I don't remember if it's PrEP or.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah. So you could basically like do a thing where you take 30 days. Yeah. You take 30 days of, like it basically blocks the HIV virus so that it doesn't. I feel like I have something in my eye, but basically it blocks you from getting the HIV virus.
Wow.
And so I started that. I also like got tested right at that 3-week window and it ended up being fine. But I just was terrified for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I also have OCD. And so
Hypochondria.
being outside and like even
shit.
if I am getting tested a lot, I had a lot of anxiety about being outside. So I ended up just kind of being like, you know what, I can't really keep up this level of anxiety and I can't do it. So I just stopped.
You know what? That's my biggest fear now. You can't really have fun like you used to.
You can't have fun like you used to.
You can't have fun like you used to.
There's some kind of fungal
There's a lot
STD
going on
around there. I saw something the other day that said that like 40,000 people or 50,000 people had tested positive for STDs in Houston. Like, it's time to lock up the cat,
going down
babes.
in Texas.
Yeah.
But it looked like they having fun though.
I don't want to have
I
fun in
just
Texas.
don't know.
It's
I
time to
don't know if
lock
you
up
need to
the
have too
cat,
much
babe.
fun.
40,000 or 50,000 in one weekend is bananas.
I feel like it is a little different as far as like just, meeting somebody, having fun, even with just like random kissing and shit. Like
Yeah.
herpes is a
Yes.
huge
Yes.
thing now. And I've had some acquaintances that I've had experiences of just, oral sex type stuff.
Yeah.
And now they have like genital herpes for the rest of their lives. So
And I think the thing is, like, I want to take this moment to destigmatize, because STDs are common. If you're having sex, you're going to get an STD. It's very, very common. There's a very high percentage that you're going to do it, but also herpes is one of the most common STDs.
Yeah,
like that's why so many people
so
have
scary.
it. But I want to say, like, well, actually, let's look it up. Let's
I don't
ask
know.
Google what is the percentage of the population with herpes? Because
Everyone.
it's very, very
it's common now.
And herpes, there's HSV 1 and 2. I don't remember which is which, but one appears on your mouth and one appears on your genitals. And it just is what it is. Like, I feel like people get it. You'll see people get it and they feel like it's a death sentence. It's not. There's no.
Well, I had an old buddy that had got into a situation like that. And I think what their concern was at the time when they found out that they had it was, how do you date that way now?
I mean, I know people.
What do you do? How do you tell someone, like, for example, she at the time she was just like, I have to accept this, I have to move my life. What you do? Fine, whatever. And it's just, how do you just go out and you're like, oh, you can't?
I don't know. I feel like the thing is, like, I think when you don't have it, it's a lot scarier. And then obviously you get that first diagnosis and you're terrified. But at the end of the day, how many people do we see walking around with cold sores?
I don't.
I see people, and you see people in Walgreens with cold sores all the time. Like, this is just a thing.
Honestly, I'm not looking at people like that.
Maybe don't look at people, but literally, I see people with cold sores.
This is a form.
I do. I'm gonna see that. Like, the thing is, I'm just.
That's good though.
You're gonna see it. It is just a thing that people have. I don't
think
that is herpes.
No, I'm saying, like, I don't think that that's how you can catch it or anything like that.
Yes, you can.
I'm saying, like, even if they are not in their flare-ups, is that how it goes? Like, if they're in there,
if they're in a flare-up and they have a cold sore, yes, and you kiss them.
So is that how it works? Is it just like they only need to tell people when they're having flare-ups?
No, they should tell people anytime they're going to be sexually active.
Right.
And anytime you're going to be kissing people, if you do have HSV1, you should absolutely let them know, because it can be transmitted that way. But also, I want to just destigmatize, because I feel like people who listen to this will also be people who have HSV1 or HSV2.
Right.
This is not like the end of the world, is what I want to be clear about.
She felt that way, and I was like, dang, I never looked at it that way. And I'm like, wow, that is something that could be challenging.
It is harder today, because I think you kind of lose a bit of your confidence. Like, how do I
And it's already hard now, so I felt, at the time when she really sorry for her, I'm like, wow, I've never really thought about it in this way. And this person wasn't going about putting themselves in this position in a bad way, which is like living their lives.
No, I think that's what it is, though. I think people think in order to get an STD, you got to be out here slanging genitals all over the place,
or putting yourself in a bad position. No,
but the thing is, you just have to have sex with somebody who has it, and that could be a thing where you're a virgin and you have sex for the first time, and the person you have sex with has HSV. Then you have HSV.
You're right.
Like, it's just not a thing where. That's why I want to be so specific about making sure that people understand that this does not make you a bad person. It doesn't mean that you were loose or not being responsible. Like, this just exists. And if somebody has a cold sore, that is a form of HSV. And you just have to be mindful of when you're making out with people and when you're sexually active, that you're talking to your partners about what your diagnosis is.
Right.
Yeah. But end of the world?
I guess that's something that just,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you just have to be honest. I mean, and I think what you were saying earlier, like, as far as like just being like, hey, let's go get tested together.
Yeah, let's go get tested. Getting tested, it ain't nothing better than getting.
But how you gonna do that in a moment? Say y'all vibing.
Use a condom.
Well, yeah.
Use a condom. Inspect and make sure you don't see nothing crazy. Like, it ain't always a thing. But for real, like, if you just having a good time and y'all get back to the house and you want to do what you want to do what you're going to do. Understand, though, that there are always circumstances where things can happen outside of the condom. Condoms are only 99 point something % effective. And so yes, it's great to use a condom, but that does not prevent 100% from pregnancy or STD.
Mhm.
But just have sex responsibly. Use a condom. If you don't use a condom, get tested. Even if you do use a condom, get tested. At the end of the day, like that's the most responsible way to have sex is to constantly be on top of your test results.
Mhm.
It makes you so it makes me so happy to just have some negative test results. Bitch, I be
That
on
makes you so happy? That's
like,
crazy.
let me look on this computer right now, baby. Negative test results gonna make me feel good every time. This
Negative
is the
test
only
results
place I
are
want to
great,
have a
especially if
zero,
they're for
okay?
things that are not you don't want
Yes.
it.
Yes.
But it's funny that makes you so
It makes
happy.
me happy.
So
Get
happy.
tested.
I'm
Yes.
hearing a lot of like the norm now. I'm hearing a lot of the young girls scream about the norm of BV.
Yeah.
BV is starting to be
is this a bacterial vaginosis?
yeah.
Is this an STD?
It's not considered yet, but I think it's going to move into that because it's a huge thing now.
So I think with BV, there are a lot of things that you can get BV from. I don't think a lot of women know that they're allergic to condoms.
You know what?
This is a
thing.
Yes. And so if you ever have if you ever have sex and you use latex, a lot of people are allergic to latex.
Yeah.
And you feel almost like dry and then you get a little itchy afterwards.
Mhm.
It's most likely not an STD because the onset of the itchiness is immediate.
From
The latex.
okay.
Yeah, from the latex. And you'll also it feels like a rash almost. And so if you are finding that after you have sex with latex that you're not really feeling comfortable down there, it might not be a bad idea to switch to like a polyaspirin or like I think
What's that?
polyurethane. Those are condoms. Yeah. I don't think lambskin protects against STDs though. So I think it's important if you're going to have sex to make sure that you are
using the right,
or
yeah.
it doesn't protect against pregnancy. Is that right?
Something like that.
Hold on. Let's see.
But
Lambskin.
that one's really popular. I hear everyone talking about that. There's so many things now made for over the counter for that. And no one, it's not, people aren't healing from it or something.
Okay, so yes, lambskin does not protect against STDs.
STD, okay.
Just FYI. So if you're going to use them, know that those are not going to protect you from getting any kind of like infection
or whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. No, I I feel like all the girls on TikTok are always saying like that's because your boyfriend's cheating on you and like.
I mean, I guess it could be. They could also their fluids. So technically, unless you're trying to get pregnant, he shouldn't be shooting up your club.
False snooze, but that's
no.
Just
this
me.
is one of the things that can throw off your pH
don't listen
balance.
to me, guys. What have we learned?
This is one of the things that can throw up
your. If you're a fan of the girls want to know, you know that I'm irresponsible one.
But I think this is something that a lot of women don't know is that men's liquids can throw off your pH balance. So if you're finding that with your partner, sometimes the man's his bodily fluids just don't mix with yours, and if you
that's
find
a normal
that you're
thing.
constantly getting a yeast infection or bacterial vaginosis, that's not your man. That's not your man, babes. It's time for you to move on.
I mean, yeah, if that continues to happen and you keep having issues, because I mean, I've had issues like that in my life where you're like, dang, I stay with a yeast infection.
Gotta get another diflucan. Yes.
Yeah, you like, what's going on? Like, is he just not it? Or usually it's some going down.
I mean, sometimes he could be cheating. And if he is, but this is why I also encourage getting tested even when you're in a relationship. And I don't think a lot of people do this, but even when I was in a long ass relationship, I was still getting tested every year. Anytime they ask me if I want to test, yes, bitch, run them all.
Yes, bitch, give me a test. I mean,
run them all. I want all of them.
I think you should just be paying attention to your body and how it changes too. I think a lot of BV too could have things to do with hormonal changes or, you know, maybe it's warmer now and now you're wearing underwear and tighter clothes and it's, you know, it's a lot of different things. BV is popular. I'm not sure where and how this has become such a thing, but I think a lot of it has to do with just what you wear and what you eat and
your vaginal health can be affected by what you're eating. This is true.
And then I think too, if you're someone who is actively having sex, you got to pay attention to your body. Like, what's your life like before your period? What's your life like after? You know, what is, because some people, like for myself, I see more changes in the week before the period versus it gets there.
Oh, baby, the OCD be,
you know,
popping on a headstand.
Body changes.
The week before my period. Yeah. I be like my mind is going to a very different place the week before my period.
The week before.
But also I might get a little breakout.
Yeah.
I might have a little hormonal breakout before.
I only have that during the winter. I don't know what it is.
How do I get this?
My skin only has like really bad hormonal breakouts during the winter.
Mine is starting to do as I'm
really
like
weird,
I turned 40 in September. My skin is starting to change, and so I'm gonna have to really address my skincare routine because I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to get pimples. I wasn't getting pimples before.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get pimples now.
That's
so
crazy.
I think
that's that old hormonal. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Like I think it's called adult acne. I had it happen to me. Terrible.
Yes.
But my notes. I added something to my to my notes of I was like you.
Lube can also cause.
You had
bacterial.
me dying when you told me that on the phone. The lube.
Lube can cause a little,
lube.
Yeah, but so you need to use a water-based lube.
I've never used lube.
So the thing is, I think
just like you were saying, I'm like when people think lube, they think somebody trying to do something crazy and go through the back door.
No, so I mean, yeah, if you want to go through the back door, you're gonna need some lube for sure. But women should use lube in general because when there is penetration, it creates tiny tears. Tiny tears can also be a reason that you're constantly getting yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So what ends up happening...
I mean, is that like the major part?
Huh?
The tiny tears? That plays a part in that?
It plays a part in that, yeah. Because it's a Mack truck trying to go through a straw. So you're gonna need some.
Good for them.
You need some help with that. And as much as people be like, my shit is juicy, I don't need that. That's great for you, sister, but still use the lube.
But where they getting the lube from?
So you can get water-based lube, guys. Like I
look at me like, where y'all even going to pick up?
Go to a sex store. I was talking to my gay friends and I had said something about lube and I said something about KY and they was like, KY? No, we don't use that. We love ourselves. And I was like,
love ourselves. Like, what are they using?
They use better lube. There are actually good lubes that are water-based that are not going to, because I feel like KY may also be responsible for some maybe negative side effects. Perhaps. I don't know. If your body chemistry works with it, that's great. But I think a water-based lube is gonna be better overall.
So you be carrying lube at the crib? That's what's
have
up.
Lube. Yeah, I have my own lube.
You are a professional, bitch.
I mean, I'm a woman who...
The last time, let me tell you what's going on in my life. I'm
a woman.
I love how grown up you and your sex life and your single sex is great. Let me tell you, you guys, my single sex life was, I had some old condoms in my kitchen drawer that... Some dude that I was dating like so long ago left. They were like some Magnum condoms that he like left, and they were like the gas station ones, the 2-pack, the 3-packer ones, because he was also married. It was shady. You guys, I'm a better person now. Anyway, funny story. Funny story is I wasn't having sex with anybody when I ended up dating someone, and I remember he was at my house one day, and this is how I knew our relationship was gonna work. He opened the drawer in the kitchen and he saw those. And he like freaked out, but they weren't even open. Like the box was just like that had never been open. And it was
but this is why I mean men think women have sex happen to them or it's something that is done to them as opposed to something they participate in. Because why would you be mad I have condoms?
Right, that's what my thoughts were.
Yes,
my mind was like, why not be happy that I was in here
that
trying
I'm
to like
responsible?
live?
Yes,
that's a whole nother episode.
Yes.
I was like, what is going on with him? He's getting ready to break down.
Yeah. Because he wants to feel like you're this
what's going
virginal.
On?
Yeah. Fucking
losers. It was weird. We had to have a weird moment after that. It was like it was crazy. Anyway, that's how my life has been. I've never like to myself been like, oh, I need to have lube, proper condoms, all kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm out here living.
Oh no.
Maybe is sex being had to me? The way you said
I kind of feel like
what did we discover? Oh Lord, it's been happening to me.
I'm so sorry.
I know. The whole time we were like, wait.
Oh my God. Yeah, like, oh my God.
You guys, okay. So now I gotta go get my equipment so I can start
I just feel
doing
like
sex instead of sex doing me.
You think like
God damn it! I'm so sick of it. I'll be getting dead out here. Let me just say, like, I should just be like, "Hi, my name's Fatimah, and I'm just now coming out of Dumbville."
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Well, I think the thing is that's why we're having this conversation though. Like, yeah, I feel like it's important to be like having these conversations. I'm actually looking right now. Let's see.
That's crazy.
I don't know. There's discourse about whether a water-based lube or a silicone-based lube is better. You use what works for your body. Like if you tried one and one doesn't work, you use the other. And if the other one, like you just got to do what works for your body. Yes. Yeah. But if you're finding like, I'm reading this book about like eliminating things from your body that don't make you feel good. And one of the things it talks about is eating stuff and then taking a moment to feel what you feel in your body. If there's any kind of discomfort in your stomach, you examine what you just ate and eliminate it from your diet. Yeah. Yes. The same thing with sex. Like if you have sex with a latex condom and you feel itchy or dry during the sex or after, you're probably allergic to latex condoms. Damn. If you have sex and you use silicone-based lubricant and you have a yeast infection a week later, you might be allergic to the silicone. Like you gotta be one of those people who's very tapped in to your body so that you can start enjoying sex. I don't know. Like
yeah, but you're not gonna learn that until you get at the age where you got lube in your house. Listen to you. Like that's crazy. Us people out here that's been getting taken down. We don't know what's going on. we out here just trying to like. I mean, at least my thoughts have never been. Not until I got to this age where I'm like, now it's more about what I want and what, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of women don't think that.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of women have it happen to them, but also the orgasm gap says that a lot of women have it happen to them where because the women in the orgasm gap who are having the most orgasms are vocal. They're saying what they want. They are participating in a more like involved way in the sex, but also they're like more kind of engaged in tantalizing the partner.
I was just about to go with that next. I feel like, including myself, I think more women be thinking like, I want to be sexy for him, you know, do fun stuff for him. I can find like it's simple for me to find ways for me to get off. It's not that big of like I don't need him to do all these extravagant things.
No.
A lot of women think that.
Oh God, no, ladies. Listen. Y'all deserve to have an orgasm every single time. Well, yeah,
of course. Yes. I'm saying, but like some women don't have that thought process of being like, I need to be vocal and tell him that there's like I know like so many, like a group of my friends would probably be like, I'm not going out of my way to like tell him every little thing.
It don't gotta be every little thing. So this is the other thing.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, but I think it's one of those things where we're engaging. And this position is not necessarily the most comfortable, but I know a position that's going to work better for me, that's going to get me there. Let's switch positions right now. Right? Because the thing is, like, the goal is for us both to get to the finish line.
But I thought you meant, okay. I understand. That's simple. Yes. I thought you meant in a way of being like, you think that majority of women are out there just being like, I need him to do this, 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 and then they're saying this. I'm like, I think the 6% is there because a lot of women are not saying
they not switching the position. They just letting it happen.
They letting it happen. That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't explain that properly. But I was like, I think the reason why a lot of women, I think for my point was, I'm like, for me now, I think sex is better for me now as an adult because I am vocal in a way of saying what I want or what my fantasies are or what, you know, positions work best for me or what turns me on in a way. A lot of women aren't doing that until they reach a certain maturity or age level or comfortable space of their sexuality to say that.
This is true. Yes.
It's women that are married with kids that are not saying this.
And I hate it for them. Right. And the thing is, like, you get to this place where you've been in a relationship where you're not getting the kind of oxytocin that you need. You might get a hug or you might get a handheld or you might get a little kiss and that might give you a little bit of oxytocin. But the level of like feel good hormones that is released, the release that you experience, the stress that you dissolve when you actually enjoy sex and go to completion is a very different experience. And I think a lot of people would be a lot happier in life if they were experiencing that. Yeah. And I think it's not enough of a premium placed on it. And so people will be like, he's amazing. The sex isn't that great, but I'm going to marry him anyway. Why are you doing that?
Because the dude that they think the sex is great with, he's not amazing. That's just what's going on outside.
But this is what I'm saying. Find the one who is amazing in bed and also
if that was the case, we wouldn't all be on the app looking lost.
I don't know.
I'm saying, at least from my experience, I feel like it's you get one or the other. And I think that's why a lot of people out here are like, let me not, it's not gonna check all the boxes. That's just on them
Sex
that they
got
want
to
be
one of the boxes that's checked is
right.
my point.
That's a deal breaker for you.
Yes.
It's some people out here that be like, you know what, he got a good job, he this, he that. I'ma just cheat on him.
I would simply pass away.
That's what people, but I feel like that's what people are doing. That's why nowadays, when it comes to sex, staying on the topic, it is so many like married people out here that are like literally having DM conversations, side chicks. Ashley Madison was one of the biggest.
Baby, that documentary.
They have a documentary.
Baby, that pastor went to the upper room. He said, "Oh, I can't live like this. I got to go." Actually, he wasn't a pastor. He was I feel like he was just big in the church.
He was just a guy that was like in the church, and then there was like a thing he didn't know it was gonna go that big. The whole thing was bananas. But just knowing that, seeing that documentary like that, it's with sex in general, it's like, to throw this in there, do you feel like you could be with the same person for the rest of your life?
I do.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
But the thing is, if we take those vows and you start acting like you don't got no sense, I'm gonna divorce your ass.
Of course.
I don't believe we should stay in anything, that we are not happy in. 100%, you gotta leave.
On my list, I'm saying sex is important, yes, but it can get old with the same person after a certain amount of years. I added these.
Oh, okay.
To stir up the pot. Do you add a third person? Okay. Tell your partner about the new things you want them to do to please you now. Mm-hmm. Or you just get a divorce. What would you do?
I wouldn't add a third.
You wouldn't? You ain't never considered adding a third?
I have. I wouldn't now.
What's your reasoning?
Now, I just wouldn't want another person in my bedroom.
I feel you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I think for if you're not happy with your sex life when you're in like a committed relationship, be vocal about that. Just say, "Hey babe, I like it when you do XYZ. Hey, I like it when you do this. Hey, I like it." And then if they don't do that, people be like, sex ain't a big enough reason to leave.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say whatever is a deal breaker for you, you gotta just go ahead.
You gotta go.
But
sex is a deal breaker for me. We gotta be having a good time every time. Or I can't be there.
Every time.
I'm just not going to be able to sustain this. I'm so sorry. And I'm not a cheater. So it's just going to have to be, we got to dead it. We're going to have to go to them people and get them paper signed. Like, that's it.
I mean, I think it's hard when you got to tell your partner you don't like something. Or you
I don't think that's hard.
I think that people take it to offense. I think I used to watch this show. It was called, it was about a lot of married couples that were either opening their marriage or they were adding a third person. Okay. And I looked at that like, okay, I could see how that could become a thing later on if you're married and you have kids and you have like a whole setup. Y'all got like houses and stuff together. I can see, But I'm like, are you doing that because of you want to have sex with someone else? Like, to me, I look at like, if I want to have sex with someone else now and my partner is not all that, I just leave, Yeah. We made enough money together. We could be able to part these little houses up. Yeah. Are our kids this young? I don't understand the logic. My point is, I don't understand the logic in I want to stay with this person and have other people.
I think so. This is the thing. Like, I think that
because people usually do it for sex, is what I'm saying.
They do. Yeah.
That's to keep us on topic.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you gotta like be very vocal, and then if your needs are not being met and you also you can't leave,
I'm wheeling Jada on this shit out. Like I ain't never, maybe that's the thing. I tell myself, I'm like, maybe I ain't never really been in love like I think I have. Where I'm like, I love them so much to where I'm gonna go off and still be me, but I don't never want you to not be in my life.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I feel like if I'm not physical with this person anymore and I'm physical elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
Why do I want to keep you?
Because I don't really know the dynamics. I mean,
but
I guess
a lot of people have those type of.
They do, and I wonder if there's like elements of like abuse that exists where it's like either financial or physical, where you feel like I can't really get away from this person.
Some people, I do know some of my friends that are in situations like that.
Yeah. Whereas like if I leave this person, they will punish me in a way where I won't be able to
I meant to say they
my
can't.
life.
They're financially, their
Yes,
other
but
person
that's a
makes more
punishment,
money,
right?
and they have a contract to where they're like, oh, my partner dates someone on Thursdays.
Yeah.
But we have an arrangement. I have a lot of, well, I would say a lot
so
of,
I think maybe that's kind of the thinking that exists.
It's a wrap for me.
Yeah.
I've tried open relationships. I've done polyamorous. I did it after my broken engagement.
Yeah.
I had a really weird space with my perception of how I saw love. So I was like, let me try some new stuff out.
Okay.
I did open relationships. I felt like, why would we name this? We should just call it I'm doing what I want to do and you doing what you want to do.
This, look, I said
I didn't
this
need
was
the
one of
fancy
my
name,
icks.
but all right.
This was one of my icks because I just don't really feel like I understand fully.
Plus, I also thought I can't be spread thin when it comes to sex. I realized that about myself. I don't.
I want it when I want
it. Couldn't. No. I mean, like, I can't. I'm not a multiple person type.
Okay.
I literally, it's an energy based. Sex is so energy based to me.
I'm not.
That I can't be like, all right, this is going on with this person this week.
So
maybe
you were
next week
polyamorous in a couple, or you were polyamorous where you were dating a couple people and
I was dating someone and our dynamic was we were open.
Okay.
So we would go on dates, but we were able to do whatever we wanted to. What he was doing was he was a business person, so he was always in and out of LA at the time. So that was fine. But then in my mind, I was just like, this isn't working for me because when he comes back, I go back to that after I was like doing this. Like, that doesn't work for me energy wise, even though it's like protected and whatever.
Totally with you.
And then when I did a polyamorous situation, it was just like, it wasn't necessarily I was being like, I'm poly. It was like, they were like, this is what I do.
Yes.
And I was kind of kicking it with them. And then my mind was like, I can't kick it with them. And they got like 97 things going on.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, we're just calling the names of, we're all terrible. And that's that. So for me, sexually, I just think when it gets like, it's an energy thing for me. I don't know how people get into this space where they're like, oh, I just want to keep my partner forever.
Yeah, and I think I don't never think of sex as an energy thing.
Oh, I
like do. I don't feel like I have nobody's energy on me. I never feel
it's
connected.
It's an energy exchange to me.
Like,
I do
at all.
Maybe that's why I be going crazy.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't feel that at all, which is also probably why. But I think that's also why I am able to detach from things, because to me sex is just sex. And of course if you really are in love with somebody, then it's a different experience. But if I just want to go have a good time, I'm gonna go have a good time, and I never need to see you or talk to you or think about you again. And I think like
I can have that mindset, but I think sex is, to me, I take it serious. I do. If I'm on that with you, I need to know what's going on. I need to know if there's like other people involved, other things involved. If not, then I'm cool. I could just not.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I be on.
I gotta really like you in order to care about those things. Like, I'm sorry.
Let me go to my notes.
I'm just not. Yeah, like
Alicia's in here being like, I don't get. You know what I'm saying? I got the lube in the drawer.
But the thing is, like, I just
you talking
feel
about.
like, okay, so I think the other thing is I got single very late in my life. So I never did my early 20s. Like,
see, I did.
I didn't have that experience. And so I did not become single until I was in a relationship for all of my 20s.
Oh.
Yes. And so,
wow, you gonna hit us with this at this time frame?
I'm so sorry. I know we got like five minutes
this
maybe.
Is where we
I'm
turned
so
up.
sorry. But yeah, so in my early 30s, I became single. And I wasn't about to be like emotionally attached to anybody. So I took a few years off of dating. And then when I started dating, I just started dating. Like, and I wasn't attached to anybody emotionally. It's just not how I am. And the thing is, when I attach to somebody emotionally, I attach. I'm like really into you. But for sex, I don't need that. Yeah, I don't need that at all.
I air guitared my whole 20s. Okay, so let me tell you,
I air guitared the early part of my 30s. Yeah, and
so in my 30s now, I'm like, I'm tired, bro. I'm trying to chill.
I air guitared the early part, and so that's the thing. Like, this is why I'm such a huge like sex positive person, because I really had grew up Christian. Then I was in a long ass relationship. I had to destigmatize a lot of shit for myself because I was doing it very late in life.
Man, I'm sick of you for coming with this late. This could have been a duck.
I'm so sorry.
We the flippity floppy.
Was this the missing thing?
This was a missing thing.
This was the missing thing.
To me, I'm like, okay, now you're saying, I'm like, yo, in my 20s, I did too much.
Nothing. No.
To the point where now I'm like trying to chill. Like I'm very like vanilla now.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm vanilla now. I've been celibate for years.
No, I'm saying that's why I don't got the lube in the drawer. Because now I'm like, chill.
Actually, you probably need to throw this lube
turning
out.
up. In your 20s. In my 20s, I was turning up. Now I'm like, whose condoms are these? Like,
no, like, I feel like I got to a point where I was like, I did not have the 20s experience at all. And so I remember I had an experience where,
lit.
Because the thing is, I wasn't always as responsible as I am now. And I think I had an experience at one point, and I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and she was like, this was when I was in my like early 30s, and she was like, sweetie, you are a baby bird. You're an idiot. You have not been out here dating. You don't know anything. So don't be so hard on yourself. Have your experiences, live your life. You're fine. But it took somebody saying to me, like, it's okay to have these like experiences where you're disappointed in the way you reacted, or you're not like being as responsible because you're just, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. Even though you're in your 30s.
Now I do. Yeah. And now it's like I'm a completely different
but now person. I know what I'm doing, and still like.
So now I'm like not even prepared, because I'm just like, I'm not even thinking I'm finna even get caught up in nothing like this, because, you know, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not prepared. I'm not ready.
I think I had my experiences where I was like a baby bird, and I was just kind of learning my way. And then I kind of got into a very comfortable space of like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what I need. This is what I like. This is what I'm comfortable with. And from there, I was just living my best Sex in the City life.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Looks like I had a good time in the beginning and then got real slow at the end. Still was... What am I?
Yeah, what but I think you have to be in a place, especially if you're gonna be out here, where you are just gentle with yourself.
Oh, I'm definitely gentle with myself. I think I'm just, you know what? When you're somebody who is sex positive, like I was having a good time, living your life, protecting yourself, whatever, in my 20s, like I was, when you in your 30s, you're just like, they should know what they're doing by now.
They should. That's why
I shouldn't be running into anything crazy.
This is why I only give them one night.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have lube in my house.
You got one night.
I need this because what is going on?
But you should still have the lube at your house to prevent the tears.
Oh, I'm gonna get some now. After how many times we talked about it? Yes. But no, I think you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a part of the 6% because I haven't allowed myself to get caught up in anything and be like, why am I? Yeah, I don't know how women are having that many fails over and over again. But I do think that there is a space where when you get a certain age and you're dating, and there are men out here that have not been told that they got to change certain things. Yeah, you're going to take a couple.
Also, can we have like 5 more minutes, Mark? Okay, so I feel like a lot of it is porn brain too. There's like porn rot we didn't even get right. We didn't get to that, and I want to kind of touch
because they watch a lot of that, and they think that's what we.
Yes, and so this is something that is a detriment, I think, to women who engage with men who watch porn, but it can also be something that's really good for women who don't necessarily understand what they like. So, yes, you should be watching porn if you're not like sure what you like. If
have you ever asked somebody that before,
baby? If I ask somebody what kind of porn they watch, and they watch with,
oh, we got heated at the end. Have you ever asked a guy porn? What his go-to is?
I do talk to the guys that I date about what kind of porn.
And then they send you it, and you're like, I gotta get out of here.
I've never had anybody send me porn though.
Oh, I'm into that.
Okay,
wait a minute. See, I didn't want to go too far.
Tell me.
I've asked, and I usually let I'm like, send me what your thing is, because like. And if they send it to you, and it's, I've asked a lot of dudes this, and if they send them to you, it's wild, y'all. Like, either A, they're gonna send you something that you're gonna be like, he's into this, like you like, I'm never gonna be able to this, I lost, or you're gonna get him to send you something you're gonna be like, he thinks I'm crazy. This is super boring.
I want to know what kind of porn they
Oh, wow, you. Man.
Give us one example.
I've asked a lot of, and I do this a lot, because I'll be like, this is how you find out what they...
I want to know what they like, yeah.
Okay, one time. And then I kind of knew this because he was kind of like corny. I liked him a lot, super, but I knew I was trying to like crack open our sexual something. It was kind of getting too vanilla. And I feel like I was reaching a level where I'm like, I'm going to scare him. I'm going to come out with some weird shit.
Yeah.
So I was asking questions. So I asked him to send me what he would watch if he would pleasure himself. And he sent it to me.
What was it though?
It just was mad corny. It was like he found it from like like his mom's old 90s tape he
VHS?
found. It was like a VA. It was like it had music, and I think it had like an acting setup. And like,
I hate porn with music.
It was just, the lady was not, it was like, is his teacher? He enter his old 3rd grade teacher.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It was like.
So I don't like it.
I don't know what's going on.
But I think, that's weird.
So I don't think they know. A lot of like, have you ever had a moment where you be like, all right, bet, let's watch a porn together on our FaceTime because you can now share your screen.
Oh, no, I've never done that. I've done it in the same room,
and
but
like
never on the FaceTime.
And then you show them and they like, yo, and you're like,
oh,
I'm out here choosing.
I feel like, so the funny thing is I feel like.
Now you changed their life and now they finding better porns for their future. Look at me out here one man at a time.
Yeah, I think I'm usually pretty on par with the guys that I date as far as like what kind of porn we like.
I done seen some things that I just be like, you got to step your game up.
Okay. But I do think it's important if you are not sure what you like in sex to watch porn. Because
you also will find out what kind of guy they are. If they send you some cornball porn, you like,
but also
bro,
if they sending you like weird,
he don't like you. He just needs to get off.
Yeah.
he doesn't need much. What is this?
Yeah. I think it's also like the guys who sometimes you'll watch porn and like the guy's like bending the woman up in the most uncomfortable looking position.
Oh, like
she's not having a good time. Yeah.
I ain't never got nothing like that.
It's obvious that she's not having a good time.
The restraint type crazy.
Yeah, but I also think that a lot of what I mean by the porn rot is that they think that sex is something that happens to us. This is what I mean.
Oh, all right. I'm trying to hit it.
This is what I mean.
I had my one last thing about the
okay, but so
third.
if you're finding that's one of those experiences where it needs to be one and done. Cut it in the middle and get on out of there. Okay, go ahead.
This is my last thing on my list. I was gonna say when people want to add a third in on the thing, there's so much to factor. There's so much to factor, you guys. I was gonna throw this in there for
this
like
is why I wouldn't do it.
The
at
ladies
this point in my
that
life.
are, and I don't want to say this is something because I feel like you can want to have a third person in there, but I'm like, I've done that. It's such a thing to consider.
I wouldn't do it.
I've done that, and it's fun. It's a good time, but you got to consider how this gonna go for both of y'all.
Yeah, I've had an
how
experience.
How this gonna go for both of y'all is a
it.
big deal, and I tell people this all the time because it's like in the moment it seems like it's a good time, and you should have a good time with your partner. You have a comfortable space, and y'all feel like y'all could be comfortable and y'all can have a good time. I would say live your life, but
understand that there are ramifications that come after the fact where you have unlocked some insecurities that perhaps you did not know you had.
100%.
And you got to deal with those in your relationship.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where I'm just not.
Also, ladies, make sure you actually really like women.
There you go.
I'm saying that because a lot of women think it's fun and you want to do it for your man, but then later on, what's going to happen in your mind?
You shouldn't be having sex for anybody but you.
Yeah, but what's going to happen? Definitely.
Yes,
say that again.
So do it for your man. Yes, you should not be doing a threesome for your man. If y'all are going to invite a third into the bedroom, you need to be both into the third, and also he should be open to the idea of it being another man. Like, let's be real.
Then that's never going to happen.
But I think that again is one of those things where people feel like sex is for men. Yeah. Because if we're inviting a third, why is it okay for us to invite a woman, but you're not okay with us inviting another man?
Right.
And so the thing is, for me, I don't want to invite anybody else. I just want it to be me and my man, my man, my man.
Yeah.
However, if you're going to do that, you need to think of the long-term ramifications of having a third in your relationship.
And understanding what you're getting yourself into is so important. And I wouldn't say no to it. I would just say it has to. You have to have a really solid relationship with the person.
Yeah,
y'all both got to be on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not for
You don't have
everybody.
enough time to
You
go into
gotta
all of that
be
thing,
real.
but
Yeah, you gotta be real comfortable in your relationship and in who you are. And you absolutely need to be doing it because you want to do it, not because you're trying to keep the man, because you want to do it for his birthday. Like this
not for
is
his
the way.
birthday.
No, for real.
It
Like
is a
you
lot of
hear
birthdays,
so many stories about
Yeah.
people who
We
I
went
did
to
this for him.
Miami.
Yeah, like no, baby, this is not how you have sex. Sex should always be
Man, why forgiveness?
100% consenting on both sides. And if you're doing it for someone else to keep them, you don't fully consent to that, and it's not okay for you to be doing that. So yeah, I feel like we could wrap it up on that.
We can wrap it up on
Yes, we
that.
can wrap it up on this. Was a great conversation.
Wrapping it up is important.
It's important. Make sure you're using a condom, friends. And if you don't use a condom, or even if you do use a condom, make sure you're getting tested after every single partner.
That's what I'm
3
talking
weeks
about.
is your incubation window, and you go get tested and see what you got. So
drink responsibly, have sex
responsibly, and yes,
have a great week.
We will see you next week. Bye, boos.